You know that moment when your cat won't stop itching and you cannot figure out why? They're scratching, licking, chewing, and you check their fur and find nothing? Not one flea. So your brain does what every indoor cat parent does. Allergies, new litter, maybe they need a different brush. I've been a vet for 15 years, and I see this all the time. Good owners blaming everything except the thing it actually is. Indoor does not mean flea-proof. Hi, I'm Peter Graves. By the end of this video, you'll know the 7 flea warning signs indoor owners miss, a simple kitchen test that takes under a minute, and 2 natural fixes that can hurt your cat worse than the fleas. Hit like if you've ever stared at empty fur thinking, it can't be fleas, and let's start with the myth that keeps so many cats itchy. Here's the mistake nearly every indoor owner makes without realizing it. When you can't see a jumping bug, you assume the problem isn't fleas. Apartment, 5th floor, screens on the windows, cat never goes outside, case closed. Your cat's reality works differently. Fleas are professional hitchhikers. One adult can ride in on your pant leg, hop off in the living room, and find the warmest blood meal in the house, your cat, before you've put the bags down. Visitors, dog sitters, a carrier from the vet, a foster blanket, any of those can deliver the first bug. And here's the part that rewrites everything. Many cats groom so thoroughly they swallow the adult fleas. So you never find a body. The itch can still be screaming. The fleas leave evidence. Most owners just don't know what they're looking at. Remember that line, because sign number 4 is going to make you walk to the kitchen. First, the signs themselves. Number 1, obsessive chewing or biting right where the tail meets the body. Here's the mistake. Owners call it a weird habit, or he's just cleaning, or they slap on a cone and hope personality somehow fixed itself. Cats don't randomly choose that spot for entertainment. The rear of the back and the base of the tail is flea ground zero. Adult fleas love the harder to groom zones. Your cat can feel movement and bite friction there even when you're staring at a clean-looking coat. The correct way? Look past cute weirdness. If the chewing is new, intense, or leaves damp fur and broken hairs at the base of the tail, treat it as a clue, not a quirk. Part the fur. Don't just glance from 3 feet away. You're looking for irritation, black specks, or little scabs coming up in the next signs. And keep a mental note. One cat can look almost bare there while you still swear you've never seen a flea. That combination is classic. Number 2, frantic scratching around the neck, chin, and face. This one confuses people because fleas live on the back, right? Not always in the way the itch presents, especially if your cat is allergic. When a flea bites, it doesn't just drink. It injects saliva so the blood keeps flowing. In a cat with flea allergy dermatitis, that saliva is the problem. The immune system overreacts. The cat doesn't feel a polite little itch. The skin lights up, and a lot of that drama shows up as scabs and scratching around the head and neck. So the mistake is assuming face itch automatically means ear mites or food only. Those matter too. They are not the only chapter. The correct way. Look at the pattern. Sudden neck scabs, chin irritation, fur breakage at the collar line, especially paired with rear end chewing. That's a flea pattern story until proven otherwise, even in a fully indoor home. Number 3, overgrooming until the coat thins or patches go bare. Here's the mistake nearly every owner makes without realizing it. You see hair on the couch and think, shedding season. You see a bare belly or inner thigh and think, stress. Stress is real. Overgrooming from itch is also real, and fleas are one of the most common matches. Cats are private about pain and irritation. Instead of dramatic scratching in front of you all day, many will lick and chew in quiet loops until the fur looks like a bad haircut. The correct way? Run your hands over the coat once a day for a week. Feel for roughness, little crusts, heat, or broken stubble. Watch whether the grooming is rhythmic and compulsive rather than the normal tidy pass. If your cat is creating bald tracks on the belly, sides, or thighs, don't start with 7 different shampoos from the internet. Start by asking, is something making the skin feel unlivable? Open loop for you. Sign 4 is the one that turns maybe into, okay, I can test this tonight. Number 4, tiny black pepper-like specks in the fur or on the bedding. Flea dirt. This is the sign indoor owners miss the most because it doesn't look like a bug. It looks like grime. Dandruff's edgy cousin, something you'll brush off the couch and forget. It isn't dirt. Flea dirt is dried flea feces. It's mostly digested blood from your cat. Here's how to check the wet paper towel test. Take a plain white paper towel, dampen it with a little warm water, gently ruffle the fur backward along the spine, and especially at the base of the tail. If tiny, hard black specks fall out, pinch a few onto the wet towel and press. Wait about 10 seconds. If those specks smear into a rusty red or reddish-brown halo, that's blood reconstituting. That is flea dirt. If they stay gray or black and boring, it may just be debris. That one kitchen test has ended more "it can't be fleas" arguments than any lecture I could give you. The correct way. Do the test before you spend a fortune spinning on allergies alone, and do it in good light. Fleas are not impressed by your confidence. They're impressed by biology. Quick mid-roll, then we keep going, because the next signs catch the cats who pass a quick glance test and still suffer. If this already made you pause the video to grab a towel, drop a comment and tell me what color smear you got. Like and subscribe if you want more practical cat detective videos like this. It genuinely helps this channel reach the owner who still thinks indoor means impossible. Number 5. Tiny crusty scabs you can feel more easily than see. Vets often talk about a pattern called miliary dermatitis. Think of it as a rash of little seed-like crusts. On a cat flea, allergy is a frequent driver of that look. Lots of small scabs along the back, neck, and rump. Here's the mistake. Owners wait for giant raw wounds before they take itching seriously. Cats can be miserable at the sandpaper under the coat stage. The correct way? Close your eyes and caress against the grain of the fur. If your fingertips keep hitting grit, little raised crusts, that's data. Combine it with signs 1 through 4 and you're not being dramatic. You're being early. Early is the whole point of this video. Number 6, itching that explodes at night. You've had this night, everyone with a wired cat has. The house finally gets quiet and your cat becomes a small percussion section of scratch, bite, shake, thump. Here's why that matters. Activity, warmth, and your own schedule can hide daytime grooming. Night removes the distractions. Also, if the environment is supporting a flea life cycle in carpets and soft furniture, evening traffic on those surfaces still feeds the problem even when the cat never goes out. The correct way. Track a 3-night pattern. Is the frenzy new? Is it focused on tail, base, and neck? Are you finding black specks on the sheet where the cat sleeps? Night noise is not a personality era. It's a symptom diary. Number 7, and this is the cluster, indoor owners dismiss hardest. You never see a live flea or a second pet suddenly starts itching too. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Between grooming, dark fur, and fleas spending parts of their life off the animal and the environment, you can have a real problem with almost no gotcha bug on the comb. And if a dog, another cat, or even you start collecting mysterious ankle bites in the same week the cat's coat goes weird, that's not a haunted apartment. That's ecology. The correct way. Stop using "I didn't see a flea" as the verdict. Use the paper towel test, the scab map, the overgrooming map, and the calendar of when it started. Then talk to your veterinarian about a cat-safe plan for the cat and the home. Adult fleas on the cat are only the tip. Eggs and later stages in soft surfaces are the rest of the iceberg. I'm going to give you the danger chapter next, because the fastest way to turn a flea problem into an emergency is a well-meaning internet remedy. If I could get every itchy cat owner on Earth to delete 2 ideas from their brain, it would be these. First, essential oils. The internet loves calling them natural. Natural is not a synonym for safe. Cats process certain compounds poorly compared with humans and dogs. What smells like a spa to you can become a toxic stress test for a cat's system. Drooling, wobbliness, tremors. That's not detox. That's a crisis direction. Keep oils far from fur, and be careful with heavy diffuser use in small rooms where cats live full-time. Second, dog flea products on cats, or half a dog dose to save money. Some dog spot-ons contain ingredients that can cause life-threatening neurological toxicity in cats. Mixed homes are special risk zones if a wet dog product transfers before it's dry. Read labels like they matter, because they do. Cat product, cat dose. Vet guided. That is the non-negotiable rule. Same principle as everything else on this channel. Your job is not to gamble with chemistry. Your job is to notice early and choose the safer path. So you spotted the signs. Now what? Without turning this into panic content. 1. Confirm what you can at home. Paper towel test. Comb the neck, spine, and tail base over a white towel for several days. Note scabs and bald paths with your phone camera so you can show your vet real progression. 2. Treat this as a cat plus environment problem. Bathing or combing adults off the cat helps today. Soft furniture, baseboards, bedding, and carpets keep the sequel ready for tomorrow if you ignore them. Vacuum edges and under furniture. Wash cat bedding hot if the fabric allows. Be consistent. For weeks. Not one heroic Saturday. 3. Call your veterinarian, especially if you see raw open skin, lethargy, loss of appetite, pale gums, a kitten itching hard, or any cat who seems painful. Kittens and small cats can go downhill faster with heavy flea loads. I'm a neighborhood cat guy making you a sharper observer. Your vet is who designs the medical plan that fits your cat. 4. Skip the shame spiral. Indoor fleas are not a moral failure. They're biology plus a front door. You didn't bring a cat home so you could become a full-time pest detective. You brought them home for companionship. But companionship only counts if you actually show up for the quiet problems. The ones that don't look dramatic until they suddenly are. An itchy indoor cat is not being dramatic. An itchy indoor cat is giving you a signal with limited language. Scratching is the sentence. Overgrooming is the sentence. Those little black specks are the sentence. If you sat through a whole video about 7 warning signs instead of scrolling past to something easier, that tells me your cat landed with the right person. So tell me in the comments which sign hit closest to home: the tail base biting, the neck scabs, the I never see fleas problem, or the paper towel test. And is your cat a full-time indoor cat? Hit like, subscribe if you want more cat care videos that respect your intelligence, and send this to someone still saying, but they're indoors while their cat chews a bald stripe into their side. Thank you for making the world a safer, less itchy place for your cats, and I'll see you in the next one.